welcome to the Breakfast Express show. Good morning to you, and you. I am delighted to be back again. We want to thank God for life. I also want to thank God for the gift of my voice. I think that's so important. I don't know how the weekend was for you, but for me, Saturday was good, quite restful. But, Sunday, my children jigged me up seriously, beyond my strength. I don't know. I think God just took over. Anyway, I'm looking forward to a beautiful week. It looks like it's going to be beautiful all the way, till the weekend. So, yes, let's do it together. Let's, share breakfast together every single morning live on the Breakfast Expression on MITV Plus. You're welcome again. My name is Tom Adire, and guess what? I am not alone. I'm never alone. Hardly. Today I have with me your very popular person, your favorite person, the go-to person, the one whose name everyone knows. I'm the mysterious one, and I like it like that, kind of. Okwe is here. Okwe is your boy. Your boy is here. Okwe, good morning.
Well, it's a big week and big enough that it's also a big month because the elections start fully this month on the
Yes.
19th of August. The presidential and the National Assembly campaigns will start. And before then, on the 15th of August, there is the gubernatorial election in Osun State. And I'm sure with the update we give on Friday, there's an idea of what is going on.
Well,
I'm sure that
yeah.
before the election starts,
Well,
Jamie will still,
give us
join us to
more.
give us
Yeah.
more updates as well. So we're looking forward to a big month, and of course, we have one of the biggest fish in the house also celebrating birthday this month. So we'll keep it locked down. Don't worry, just stay with us. It's a Monday, the first edition of the show for the week and also for the month, and I'm excited to go on this trip with you as we've done in the last 5 months. Welcome to the show. My name is Okoyemi Akande. Good to have you again.
Okay, and yes, as the Nigerians do, they say Happy New Month. So
Mm.
yes, Okwemi reminded me that it's a brand new month. So welcome to the month of August, the eighth month in the year, the most popular month, the month where you can't but have all the blessings that God has in stock for you, the one that, ushers us into the Ember months. So yeah, I'm wishing you the best this month. And you know, uh, we usually take a break at this time, so we're not going to, do it otherwise. We're going to take a break, and then when we return, we'll go into the papers, look at what they're serving us for breakfast this morning, and talk about it. So please stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's still the Breakfast Express show on MITV Plus. You're welcome back. It's time for us to look at the newspapers. I'm going to be starting with the Punch newspaper, as usual. And despite billions spent over 6,500 PHCs, still not functional. So, despite billions spent over 600,000, 6,500 PHCs, still they are not functional. So that's what that means. Okay, let's just go straight to the banner headline from the Punch newspaper and says abandoned projects. Federal government bars ministries from awarding unfunded contracts. And let's look at the riders for that story. Um, Treasury tightens rules to curb abandoned projects, unpaid liabilities, and fiscal indiscipline. MDA's accounting officers face ICPC action for approving unfunded projects. BPP to reject no objection requests without proof of available funds. Well, the above the nameplates that we read is also is seeming to me like an abandoned project. I'm talking about the PHCs. After spending 6,500, um,
Are still not
and
functional.
they're still non-functional. That's also for me an abandoned project. And then the next
Story
headline,
to it.
the next story is talking about abandoned projects as well.
I think the win for me is that the buzz that the 2026 appropriation bill got, it's probably making a lot of things unravel or unveil itself to a lot of
Yes,
Nigerians.
yes,
The way Nigerians suddenly got aware of what are things going on with our budgets is making us ask the right questions. In the last 3 weeks or 1 month, I've read reports from our budget, from Tracker, I've read reports from Code, Follow the Money. I've seen, how these individuals have made us know that, see, the budgets that we run in this country is like the code of the secret cult. Projects that have been executed, projects that does not exist, projects that that are even outside of the operational policy of ministries are being submitted by the ministries. So I think that's what we're seeing right now. Some of these lines, some of these numbers are now being scrutinized. I don't know, maybe the president gave them an instruction to go over the budget. Because if you are saying that over the weekend, even the president had to tell the people that stop building overhead bridges that does not have direct effect on the lives of the people, because the president in his wisdom knows that that's one of the ways where people are stealing money. So if we have over 6,000 primary healthcare centers that are non-functional, and we have spent billions in fixing PHCs. We had that conversation on this show a
yeah,
few weeks back,
yeah,
where we said maybe outside of Lagos, where we can say, well, PHCs are maybe functional, maybe a little
exists. They exist.
exist. Exactly, that's the word. Maybe a little in Ogun here and there. Go to Zamfara, go to Jigawa, go to Yobe, go and see the structure of primary healthcare centers in those places. They are non-existent. So if you have spent billions, because the idea of the primary healthcare center is
Center.
that provide first respondent to people,
And then you
pregnant
and then
women.
you can
So
now.
whatever can happen from there, if there are emergencies, stabilize them. So whatever happens for them, can refer them to
To
state
other
hospitals
hospitals.
or refer them to federal medical centers or federal hospitals. But the most important in that chain is the primary healthcare center. That is why we still continue to have high mortality rates. Pregnant women are still dying of childbirth. Do you understand? Because the primary healthcare centers are not functional. Imagine over 6,000 PACs, and we have spent billions in fixing it. So where are those monies going to?
We already have a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm not even sure this caller has actually settled in because we're just starting. So it will be a nice thing for us to, just settle in, listen, grab the conversation before we start to call. It will not be nice to call and start asking us what we're discussing because we won't attend to such calls. So let's do it the way it should be done. All right, okay, I'm listening to you. I'm very
Yeah,
interested.
I just feel more needs to be done in area of accountability,
Yeah.
because most of these PACs are directly under the local government, but there are schemes that the federal government has, especially from the Ministry of Health, that help to equip some of these primary healthcare centers. We've seen primary healthcare centers that is just like a skeleton. There are no roofs, no beds, nothing. We have seen places where people have to hold drip by their own hand. The drip you are collecting, you are holding it by yourself. So we often make that mistake of, probably because it's functional in Lagos. There's the remnants of something working in Ibadan, and all of that. Leave this zone. Go into where people need these things the most. They don't even exist. If you look at it, sometimes when they say there's cholera outbreak, and this is not discriminating against any region, go and check where the numbers are coming from the most. It is from a certain region. When they say there's measles outbreak, go and check the region where the numbers are coming out the most. It is from a certain region. When they say there's smallpox, there's chickenpox outbreak, go and check the region where it comes out from. It is from a certain region. We were certified polio free a few years ago. Now we're hearing conversations around the fact that we're having issues, fresh cases of polio. Go and look at the region where it's coming from. These are the regions that they need the primary health care centers the most. And I'm sure that if we dig deep into this story, if there's a breakdown of some of the zones, you will see how many of these primary health care centers that are not functional in the northern part of this country. And monies are being earmarked every single budget cycle for these healthcare centers to be functional. So it's a problem. So the government is saying that we have spent billions on these things, but they don't exist. They don't exist.
They don't exist. Oh, by the way, just by the side, you talked about measles. I must say that we should sensitize, Nigerians. There's a lot of measles in town. There's a lot of chicken pox in town. So please be careful. And funny enough, it's not just the children, Adults are having measles now. I actually know someone who's down with measles right now as we speak. And I know that in my grandson's school, there was a chickenpox outbreak a couple of weeks ago. So, I think these things are, we just need to be careful. And that's really by the side. Okay, so now, Okwe, I just want to respond to what you said. It's quite unfortunate because, you see, even the non-functioning ones, the ones that don't even, more or less don't exist, will probably be coming up with all sorts of budgets. And these budgets will be approved, and somebody somewhere is putting these monies in his or her pockets, and absolutely nothing is being said about these things. It's quite unfortunate because, you see, we are our own greatest enemies, if you ask me. See, if we spend the money that we're supposed to, spend on people's health, right, it's not going to affect President Bola Ahmed Tinubu where he is. Because when he needs treatment, he's out of the country. It's not going to affect the members of the House of Representatives, neither the Senate, the senators, or the governors. It's going to affect you and I. So why? I mean, one day, guess what? It's going to affect members of your family if it doesn't affect you directly. And you see, so I don't know how we think. It may affect your sister's daughter's child, who you love so much, who may be your favorite in the family, but because you think it will never affect you, it will someday, but indirectly. So we need to be careful, and we need to let our consciences, like I said the other day, some people don't have a conscience, so okay, you think I'm not joking, because if they do, they probably would be living the right way, So now, federal government is buying ministries from awarding unfunded contracts. How can they curb these excesses? How? Really, how? How accountable are Nigerians in the ministries? In fact, when you talk about corruption thrives the most in the ministries, federal and states. So how do they curb these excesses? I told you about a friend of mine who was a permanent secretary, just took over, a Bobby old boy. He wanted to come he wanted to come and
they will close the door and warn him.
What are you talking about? They had a meeting, said, okay, they were going to stop using paper, typing and all of that it was time for them to become digital. Immediately after the meeting, he said as soon as he got to his office, about 5 minutes after, someone knocked on his door and came to him and said, did you come here to work? Or you came here to do what? If you want to work, work. But if you want to die, you will die. Take your eyes off everything. They actually warned him. He said he had never seen a manner of warning like that. So so I mean, of course, you weigh the options. Your life is more important. You take a step back. So how do we effect a change, really? Who is monitoring who? Who is about to become the scapegoat because you want to effect a change, But the truth is, if you knew you were not going to effect the change at all costs, because they say to lead is to die, and that statement is real, Each time I say it, I refer to him because he said, to lead is to die. So if you know you're not ready to effect a change, then don't take that position. When they promote you, tell them you don't want to be there.
See, let me quickly chip in something. I think we have a problem where the people that are saddled the responsibility of fixing our problems are benefiting from those problems.
Yeah.
So it's a case of conscience. Do I want to fix this problem, and then my own meal tickets will stop? One of the fundamental structures that we have in this country that is faulty is the civil service.
That's what I just said, precisely.
I repeat, one of the most faulty structure we have in this country is the civil service.
Precisely.
The wrath and the criminality and the corruption going on within the civil service of this country is on a scale that is so unprecedented. Do you remember when Senator Dave Umahi resumed as a Minister of Works and he opened register that by 9 o'clock, everybody must resume work? What did they do the following day? They locked the Federal Minister of Works.
I remember.
They locked it and locked the minister out.
I remember.
So they have a way of doing their thing.
That when you come, you conform.
You have to conform.
I said this man broke it down. He said, so who the person supplying paper, how do you want that person to eat?
Exactly.
The person supplying ink, how do you want the person to eat?
Do you know?
Excuse me, what's going on?
There are times where governors will come to the secretariat unannounced and commissioners, their offices are locked. Very recent, I think either governor of Jigawa or something, he just made an unscheduled visit to the secretariat. No commissioner, no ministries function. Everyone is just on their own. And let the salary delay by one day. There'll be problem. I've been privileged to follow people or to have one or two things to go to federal secretariat or to go to ministries in Abuja. The attitude of busy doing nothing is crazy. Everybody is moving left and right.
I'm telling you.
And they are busy doing nothing.
And busy doing nothing but trading.
Ministers have exit doors. They will come in through the main door. They have left through the exit doors.
And you don't know.
So you have a meeting with the minister and you wait there for hours. Oh, the minister is coming. Minister has gone. Do you understand? So we have a structural problem where the civil service in this country is so corrupt.
It's so corrupt
that no matter how you come in to clean up the system will most likely consume you.
That's the point.
It's most like, do you know how many ghost workers we have in this country? Wait till December when they are sharing rice
and groundnut.
You will now see funny names. Do you know how many people are still collecting salaries in this country and they have left this country? They have relocated from this country and they are still collecting salary too. People that are working in Nigerian Railway Corporation, people that are working with this other, they have relocated from this country, they are still collecting salaries.
What about people working in census that have not done anything, are not doing anything, don't have a proposal, have never had a plan, you cannot execute? They earn the salary every day.
What's the between the people at the Population Commission and at the refineries?
Exactly.
Are they not the same? Are they not the same thing? What have they done?
We have a lot of non-functional people that, in my opinion, should have been asked to go home and rest. They're still working and earning a salary.
Do you know how many people are using? Let me tell you a story. Some years back, at the Jos University Teaching Hospital, somebody died. A member of, I think, State Ministry of Justice or Agriculture or something. So they went to, the office people did obituary. So they posted it on the staff vehicles. So they went to the hospital to meet his family and, convey his corpse. By the time they got to the hospital, the family also did their own obituary. So the age on the obituary of the family is different from the age on the obituary of the ministry. Apparently, the family knows the original age.
Of course.
But the ministry followed the official age. 11 years difference. So, to the ministry people, he died young. To his family, he died 11 years older than his normal age. There are hundreds of thousands of people like that they should have been out of the system by now.
Even in leadership positions.
There are people that are earning salary every month. They don't even report to their place of work.
Yep.
Do you understand? So when you go to ministries, you will see those people busy doing nothing, carrying files up and down. They will tell you, most of them will not even process your
I'm
files.
telling you that
Because your file will not get to the Augusta because you have decided not to do what you are not supposed to do.
there are bosses in ministries that send their workers to their shops to
Yes.
supervise, to see what's going on in
Yes.
the shop. So they spend their productive time doing private business for their bosses,
Of
and
course.
yet they earn from the ministry.
Of course.
I mean, we have too many of that.
Do you know how many people that are supplying things to the ministry and they are staff of the ministry and they are collecting impress on behalf of what they are supplying? Do you understand? So there's a structural problem. And I will tell you the fact. There's no ministry that will work in this country. There's no department that will work in this country. There's no agency that will work until we sit down and say, can we fix the civil service?
We need to fix it. We really, really need to.
Can we fix the civil
This
service?
is a call, for us to fix the civil service, to ensure that we separate the wheat from the chaff, that we sweep out the unwanted hands that are there, the idle hands, the people that are not productive, that are not adding value, that are not helping society, that are not helping the system, that are not doing anything to ensure that there's progress in Nigeria, whether at the state level, whether at the federal level. We need to, and at the local government level. In fact, we need to put our searchlights on the local government level.
There are local governments in this country that are not functional.
That is where the whole thing starts from. So we need to do a total cleansing of this entire system. That's the only way that we will be able to benefit, from the people who have come, who have brought something to the table, who have some values, to add. They have values to add that we can benefit from. That's just the only way, except we do a thorough cleansing. In whichever way, we need somebody who will help us do that cleansing once and for all. And then Nigerians will sit tight. And then we also need somebody who in himself or herself
can take
the heat, one, and you will also lead by example. That people will say, Oga will not take this because Oga himself does not do it.
Exactly.
Simple.
But the moment Oga is doing it, which mouth Oga wants to use to tell the people not to do it?
Exactly. He who is not guilty should cast the first stone.
You will collect contracts to supply 50 or 100 bags of rice for you and your colleagues to share. Then you supply 27. Later you supply 19. And then you supply 12. So we have a system where people are milking us so bad.
They are benefiting unnecessarily in their opinion.
The same people will be the first to come out and raise noise when things don't go in their favor. So if the government is really intentional, you see all these this one, all of these things are supposed to be documented by departments under ministries. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Are there oversight functions performed by the National Assembly on these ministries? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do.
The civil service is a major problem in this country.
Hello. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Express Show.
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Taiwo. My name is Taiwo.
Okay, you're welcome. From Mowe?
Yes.
Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Taiwo. Go ahead and make your contribution. And thank you for always calling.
Thank you. I want to comment this particular topic you are discussing. And may God bless you and bless your organization.
Amen.
The truth of the matter is that the problem and the pain of this country is the civil service. I have been running a business with the civil service for a while. Do you know that I've been going to that, I don't want to mention the name, I've been going to that organization since October.
Last year.
Every time I'm starting all over again. Because on every seat, they want to collect money. Do you know that one of my sons had a business with the state government, and all the civil servant told him was that just submit your statement and give us your seal that they are the one that will do the business
Of course. Of course.
And the guy now said that in case the building is poor, and he's the one that they will come and hold.
Yeah.
because he lost the job. The truth of the matter is that 95% of our budget is being shared in the civil service. That is the greatest problem we have in this country. And until this matter is sorted out, Nigeria cannot move forward. In our area, they brought NEPA, and what do you call it? Disco. Do you know for every lane, 5 or 6 of those poles are down? Why? Because the poles are out of standard.
They are outdated, by the
They
way.
are outdated. The number of cement are supposed to handle the pole. If it is 10, they will use 2. And so at the end of the day, we don't have life for kids. But in our estate, we decided to do our posts. Our posts are still standing, not in this moment. The system is corrupt. It is built on corruption, and until we face it headlong, Nigeria cannot move forward. Thank you for this topic. You are saying the truth and nothing but the truth. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much for your contribution. I mean, you know, it's time for us to really take a critical look at the civil service. You know, we've been talking about the Senate, we're talking about the House of Reps, National Assembly, presidency, state governments, and all of that. But we need to look at the civil service, the other people that make up, you know, the civil service. We need to look at them, do a thorough X-ray, you know, how and the way things go on there. Hello, good morning.
I'm Olayeka, speaking from Ilugbo.
Oyingbo,
Ilugbo.
Ilogbo, or on the way to Badagry.
No, towards Ota.
Song.
Okay, Songota area.
Sango, yes,
Oh,
Sango.
you're welcome to the program. You can go ahead and make your request. I said your request.
Every one of you.
Amen.
Today, I just want to remind you, in the 70s, I 70s, I think around 75 or so, Monica La, the head of state then, tried to clean up the ministries. But what happened after that? They killed him.
Mm.
They killed him. They plotted a coup against him. So what are we saying? There are people that doesn't want advancement at all of this country. There are people
Yeah.
everywhere in the ministries. So may God help Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we know that leadership is a very delicate thing. So we must be careful when we clamor, you know, to become leaders. Because leadership has a complete package. You know, it comes with so many things. You know, Muritala Mohammed died. He paid that's the ultimate price that anyone can pay, you know, trying to ensure that, you know, the system is cleansed. But it wasn't something that he would have ruled out completely, you know, with that kind of position that he took. So what we're saying, in other words, is this is not what we wish to happen to our leaders all the time. But sometimes, in some cases, hopefully very rarely, it may happen. But the thing is that inside of them, there is this fulfillment that they stood for justice, they stood for integrity, they stood for accountability, they stood for transparency, they stood for a clean system, a system that will work such that it will affect, you know, the citizens of Nigeria, the populace, you know, the masses, you know, positively. These are some of the things that we do when we decide to take leadership positions, you know, fighting for people. You know that, you know, you may be standing a huge risk, but you're doing it all the same anyway, because that is who you are. That is what you're made up of. You know, you can't do otherwise. And I think that one day, you know, we will have in the civil service, you know, I'm going to mention a name, but I'm not saying that we want exactly that kind of process. You know, when Rawlings took over Ghana, there was a total cleansing.
Absolute.
But a total cleansing, and Ghana started to grow again. You know, but his way, his decision, you know,
It was a radical
it was
move.
very
And the people
radical.
rejected it at first, but they didn't have a choice.
But I'm not recommending that, but I'm saying that somebody who's brave enough, who's bold enough to say, you know what, we're taking the bull by the horn, we're going to cleanse the system anyway, you know irrespective of what people say. We need that kind of messiah in this country. The civil service needs a thorough cleansing. Because not only those who work in the civil service, those who are affiliated with them, the contractors also, they work as paddies, hand in
Now,
hand.
people inflate contract
Exactly.
fees now because they know
They
that
know
people
that
are waiting for kickbacks. People are waiting because at the end of the day, you have a contract, maybe you are to build a 2-kilometer road that's supposed to cost maybe 18 million.
Yeah.
But you know very well that they will not process your documents
Exactly.
if they don't know how
Look
much
at what Mr.
percentage you
Taiwo
are giving
said.
back to them.
Look at what Mr. Taiwo said
We
about
relate
his
to
son.
these people every day.
But you see, it's good
we
to be
see
credible.
We see these things.
It's good to be credible because his son said, "Listen, if I go with your flow,
And anything goes wrong.
and anything goes
they
wrong,
will
I'm
not
the
ask you.
culprit.
I'm
Of
the one
course,
that
I'm
will
the
be
one
picked up.
they're going to hold. Instead of that, I'd rather lose. This is what I talk about, okay? This is the credibility that I talk about. I wish I know this man. I will go to him and shake his hand and say to him, we need more people like you. This is what I talk about. It is possible to do it. It's possible to say no because I have integrity. I have a name that I want to protect. And this is what I recommend for everybody in Nigeria. Okay, let's still go back to the newspaper. There's Power Tussle that is rocking Obi and Kwakwanso campaign team. And it all boils down to being selfish. Is me, myself, and I. What is the Power Tussle about now?
I had a conversation with the NDC senatorial candidate for Lagos Central Senatorial District, Barrister Oladipupo Johnson, and then is a very big how do I put it now, member of the movement.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, what is going on between Peter Obi and Rabi Musa Kwankwaso? We've been seeing the KO ticket, the OK ticket. Obi Kwankwaso will be seeing another, but it looks like there's a disjointed conversation around both of them.
Both of them.
Their body language, their disposition, their conversation.
They don't seem to be working.
Yeah, it looks like they're at this level. And they admitted that there are issues within the OK ticket that will need to be resolved. But the question is this: the election is 167 days away from us today. How much time do you have to resolve it? Especially when you are running against an administration where the candidate of the party feels like everything is fair in politics.
In politics.
That is one of the most undemocratic statements I've heard in my entire life.
And it is such a controversial statement.
A Democrat.
People have been talking about it.
Exactly.
Social media is screaming every day, screaming blue murder. How does a presidential candidate speak like that? Talk less of a president of a country, and not just a country, but a democratically run government. How do you speak like that? These are some of the things that we want to look at, and people will say, oh, we're being biased. No, we are not being biased. We just said it on the table. There are certain things that we don't want to focus on the presidency because we have some other cadres we need to focus on. It's not about the president all the time. But when it is about the president, sir, ma, it is just about the president. There's nothing, absolutely nothing we can do about it. When you make statements, first of all, one would expect so much more from our president. Because when our Senate president spoke so carelessly a couple of times, people said, first of all, a Senate president should not be speaking carelessly like that. But you know what? They said, anyway, it is a Senate president. That could fly. But you see, because they know that there are two people who they are looking up to be able to speak, more responsibly. And then one of them, the ultimate one, is saying this kind of things. It is worrisome. And we have to talk about it. Not because the social media is talking about it, but because we see that it is not a good way to speak, especially when you're in a democratically run administration. You shouldn't be talking like that. So you can do anything to win, and it is right. That's how we have decided to interpret it anyway.
You know, my bigger concern at this point is that if the opposition is showing this kind of weakness, you're only going to make the job easier for the people that were supposed to provide opposition to. You look at the Atiku camp, you look at the NDC, you look at the PRP, you look at the PDP, you look at the opposition. And I asked a question last week on one of my social media platforms that, are we ready for this election? And the person said, oh, the only party that seems ready today is the APC. So when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu hosted the Council of Bishops and he made that statement that all is fair in politics, I question every little understanding that I know of democracy. And the only way I can wrap my head around it is that the president is saying, win at all cost. Grab it, run with it, do or die. Snatch ballot boxes, steal PVCs, steal beavers, burn INEC office,
Kill people.
attack INEC staff, kill people, do whatever you want to do. All is fair in politics. All cannot be fair in politics.
No.
If all is fair in politics, we don't need INEC. Even in war, there's nothing like all is fair in war anymore. Because if all is fair in war, we don't have international criminal courts.
Precisely.
We don't have issues like genocide. We don't have issues like tribal cleansing. All is not fair, even in war.
I mean, you can't be in that position.
Do you understand?
You can't listen. Okay, it's not even about the president. No responsible human being who is in politics and you say you're running a democracy should be speaking like this. It is so, honestly, I reserve my words, but it is so wrong to be speaking like that. It all is not fair. The people who can make it fair are the independent INEC. It's just that it's as simple as that. So how else is it fair? Have INEC spoken? Have INEC said the election is fair? Have the elections held at all? I mean, it's INEC that we should be hearing these kind of things from, and then people may now counter, what they've said.
INEC will not even tell you all is fair. Because the reason why even in war there are rules of engagement.
No, INEC can come out and say that, they did everything to ensure that the elections there was fairness, and that in their opinion that all has been fair. They can say that. You understand what I'm saying? But not in the manner in which our president has spoken. I think, first of all, that is belittling. Belittling, every other person except himself. And that's not a good thing. We are speaking on his behalf for his own good. It's not a good thing to do, especially when you want to rerun a second term. Honestly, I mean, I think that we could do a whole lot better. But coming back to that story, I think this is a time where the opposition should be getting their acts together. This is a time that they should be building strong walls. They should be uniting, in such a way that nothing will be able to penetrate them. This is a time. And the truth be told, we can say anything we want to say, but APC, in my opinion, is the party that has proven itself better than the rest. Because the other parties are still trying to, they've not, in how many days away?
168 days
away. And we're still playing games, we're still scratching the surface. I mean, we don't need to be told. Anyway, that's what happened to PDP. After the last election, I recommended, I said, look, rather than go to court, the die has been cast. Go back home, sit, at a roundtable conference and talk to yourselves the way you should and start to rebuild now. Start to strengthen now. But they didn't do that. Look at where is PDP now. So I think we should just learn from what has happened to them. Okay, Nigeria earns 24 trillion from crude exports in 6 months. So how does that really affect the people? When we are looking at this kind of stories and this kind of figures, we want to be saying that, Nigeria has earned 24 trillion from crude exports in the last 6 months. And, from the proceeds or from the profits, Nigeria has fixed Port Harcourt refineries or has started to fix Port Harcourt refineries. And now they're going to, they've laid off all the staff and they're starting to do recruitment for new staff. Then it will make some sense, if you know what I'm saying. But right now, we're just reading these figures. We can't do much with the figures. They really don't mean so much except for the fact that we will start to say, okay, what has been done with this money? And we, even though we know that we're not likely to get an answer from that, it really, all of these things that we do, sometimes I start to ask myself questions. When are we going to end all of this? Okay, still on the Punch, there are two pictures on the Punch. It's supposed to be, those pictures are split in two. But the story behind it is that the kidnapped victims have been rescued by troops of Sector 2 Operation Pansan Yama at the forward operating. Is it forward or I think it's supposed to be forward operating base in Kasuwan Danji Kaura Namoda local government area of Zamfara state. Can you read that, the picture story? Can you read the names?
Yes.
Mr.
So the operation is codenamed Fansanyama.
Oh yeah.
Yes, at the Kasauna Daji in Kaura Namoda local government area of Zamfara state.
Can you see that there's a difference? There's a huge difference. This is not English. This is House. Is it Hausa?
It's Hausa.
It's Hausa. All right. Okay. And this happened on Sunday. And the photograph was sent in by the Nigerian army. We can see the young girls, sitting down, and there's some boys as well. They were kidnapped, but they've been released. They've been rescued by the Nigerian army, and kudos to them. Well done. I just hope these young ones have not been defiled. But they're alive anyway. Hoping that time will heal these great wounds. Looking at the Orire victims, I saw the headmistress. Did you see her during her Thanksgiving? Yeah, she was looking so, gay and everything.
I mean, she's smiling.
That's what I'm saying. Time is a great healer. Nobody's saying the scar will go, but we're saying that with time, you would get you'll be able to breathe some air of relief. And I think that's what's happening. And so likewise, I pray that the same will happen to these young ones that have just, found freedom again. Okay, fake agency scandal. Controversial DG fights back. He fingers more MDAs. Okay, we knew that we were going to have some drama unfold. And, like Okwe rightly said last week, gradually, this whole thing is fizzling out.
It's moving from
banner headline to it's in one small
very
little
soon now, you
corner.
start seeing it once in a week. Just flash through.
Exactly. And the next thing, the entire story will die. The same way, was it the snake?
The snake that swallowed money.
I mean, all of that, we never saw
in this same country.
Yes,
some people were told to give account for NDDC, during the NDDC probe. Yeah. And somebody fainted during the ad hoc public hearing.
And that was the end.
And then the same man that is now the number 3 man in this country was saying that off your mic. Till today, they've off the mic. They didn't on it back.
Very, I mean, so these are some of the things that even we go through. So when we are accused and we are chastised, we don't know what's going on. Hello, good morning. I think there's a problem. Hello? Hello? Okay, so Nigeria, Nigeria not happen to certain people. The kind of things that happen, sometimes you just cannot explain. Okay, so, but as this unfolds, I don't want to lose track of the fact that I'm talking about this particular fake agency scandal story. We hope that the man will be able to fight back and that his fight will be worth his while. Because right now, he is the one who seems to be bearing the brunt of everything. But let's hope that, his fight would open some more, can of worms, and those can of worms will be, investigated, hopefully. But right now, the investigative panel have shut
They've
down.
they've
They've
closed
closed.
the
They've
yes.
closed completely. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Express show. What's your name? Where are you calling from, sir?
My name is King Young. I'm calling from Oba.
Your name is what?
King Young, King
King
Young.
Young. Okay, calling
Yes,
from
ma'am.
Ogba. All right. Please go
I
ahead.
just want to, I see when people talk about the government of it, one other people might be promoting the person, but everything is really, the person that off the mic is still there. The
Mm-hmm.
mic they're off is still there. And
True.
nobody has queried them. Why did you off the mic? Or can we reconnect the mic back so that we can know exactly what the mic wants to say? But when you say things like this, they go after you. So how are we going to survive? So this is just what I want to say. So if they can reconnect the mic, we want to know what the mic wants to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Well, just as we are curious, you know that our own work is tatafo more or less. We hear it and we bring it and put it on the table. We also are curious to know what the mic wanted to say, and we did ask questions at the time. We pursued it for a bit, but when they say you can only force the horse to the stream, you can't force it to drink. So we can ask all the questions we want. If the man who's supposed to, provide us with the answer is deciding to keep, his lips together and not make them part in any way or for 1 second, there's absolutely nothing we can do about it. Annoying as it may seem, because I may be smiling and talking about it, I'm just smiling with pity, with pity for Nigeria. I'm smiling with pity for some of our leaders who feel that because they are there momentarily, because that's the part that a lot of us forget. It's a momentary thing, because they're there for a moment, they think that that's the end of the world. You see that mic that was turned off and we didn't hear anything from, it will get to a time where this man will sing like a canary. Don't forget that the 1993 elections in this country were annulled. And nobody spoke. The people who were supposed to speak refused to speak. Lives were lost. People were assassinated. But guess what? At the end of the day, did the canary not sing? He sang. So, sir, I'm waiting as patiently as you are, because one day I'm sure we will connect again. Maybe not here, but someday I know we will connect again and we'll say, yes, you said it one day that the canary will sing. It will sing, because time will bring everybody to justice. That's the truth. And that's my final take on that. Okay, speeding driver killed in Lagos road crash. Now, how was this driver killed? I wish we could have read the story. You know, people should really be watchful about the speed every time. Where are you going? Sometimes I even say to my drivers, are you the one going to this place or am I the one going? I say I'm not in a hurry. Don't kill me before I get there. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
I want to say that
Unfortunately, that line is not clear, so I think we just better take the last headline. Insurance recapitalization. NICOM clears 43 insurers and reviews 8. That's the last story on the Punch newspaper this morning. I think we can go to the next newspaper.
Yeah. I'm trying to see which of the stories would give us opportunity to discuss the upcoming Osun election. So I think this day newspaper
Has
I
a
know
story.
has
Okay.
a big story on that. Okay. Um, 43 insurance firms scale NICOM's recapitalization hurdle. That is on page 7 of this day newspaper. With the big story, Adeleke to Osun voters ignore threats, troopouts to vote accord on the 15th of August. Imole Campaign Council alert nation international community, IGP on unsettled political climate in the state. Olawepo Hashim urges people to stand with party despite governors' alleged disloyalty, reject Tinubu's endorsement. AAC,
Sorry, that's a rider for the main
yes,
story.
for the main
Okay, so
story.
that particular rider, can you take it again? Because
Okay.
I'm not quite clear on what it said.
Olawepo Hashim urges people to stand with the party,
Which party?
the Accord Party,
The Accord Party. Okay.
despite governors' alleged disloyalty, reject Tinubu's endorsement. That's the story on page 5.
So the governor has been alleged to be disloyal because he said
He's endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
as a
and then his
presidential
party has a presidential candidate.
candidate. Okay, yes, I get
You
it.
get the drill.
Yes, okay.
Exactly.
I was trying to put it together, but the computer didn't boot in time.
Exactly. So that's where the
Okay,
issue
I
is
get
coming
it.
from.
I get it. I get it.
Exactly. So Olawepo Hashim is saying that the people, the members of the party, should still stand with the party.
Yes, I get it.
And
Clear.
of course, he is rejecting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's endorsement. I'll run a quick check on Olawepo Hashim. If he's the presidential candidate of the Accord Party, I'll give you that
I can
information.
do that while
Yeah, exactly.
his name is Olawale.
Olawepo Hashim.
Okay, I'll do that.
AAC debate boycott shows APC ADC orders unprepared to lead state. Oyintiloye charges police on neutrality and security. Okay, that's more about the story. And we're also using this platform to appeal to the good people of Osun State, beautiful state. 30 local governments and 1 local council area. That's, I think, Ife East or thereabouts. There are about a little over 3,000, wards in the state, and about 6,000 plus polling units. And these are the people that will make that choice on who governs them going forward. Either they retain the governor, former PDP moved over to the Accord Party because of the issues within the PDP. Former senator, by the way, I remember he completed the term of his late brother. Then he also became the governor. He was formerly of the APC as well. And before he moved to the PDP, then he moved to the Accord Party. Or perhaps the state wants to align with the federal government and don't want to play the opposition card again by voting for the APC governorship candidate in the state, of course, popularly known as Ambo. So, okay.
He is.
Okay. So now I'm sure that
He's
entire...
campaigning for himself.
Exactly. So Olawepo Hashim is the presidential candidate of Accord Party.
Yes.
And the only governor that Accord Party has at the moment is campaigning for the president of the APC. So that's why Olawepo is coming out to say that
disregard him.
Disregard his
that
position.
he's not loyal.
He's not loyal to the party. He's only fighting for his own political survival.
Aren't they all?
Of course, we have a presidential candidate of this party. I am the presidential candidate of this party. So it does not have the local standing to campaign for another presidential candidate when the party has a presidential candidate. So it's only, they always say it in politics that it's 2 things. In politics, and I'll say this in Yoruba, I'll try and explain it. In politics,
what we will eat and the thing that we will be, what will become.
Exactly.
Is what
so for everyone that is going into
towards.
Politics, it is what you eat first and then what you will become. That's why you go in as a councillor. Do you understand? And from there, you aspire to be more. First off, you are eating something as a councillor. Then you want to aspire to be more.
Local government
so you have to get. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's a politics. Sometimes when they say I'm passionate about serving the country, there's no passion anywhere else.
But you have said that if
it's
you are given a political appointment, you Opeyemi Akinode will take that appointment.
I will.
Now,
100%.
my question to you this morning is: will you take it because you want to make Nigeria a better place, or will you take it because of Nkotomaje at Nkotofe?
So there's a reason they call it workshop. Do you understand?
You work
Now
and
where you
chop.
work, now there you go chop. So
Nigerians,
nobody is saying you should not chop.
beware of this man.
Nobody is saying you should not chop. No, 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 no. That's the fact. The luxury that comes with the political office is a global phenomenon. It's not a Nigerian thing. It's only that we are. No, I'm coming.
I like the way you are a good orator.
It's only that we abuse the privilege. We abuse the privilege as a country. As a politician in this country, you should be contented with whatever you are earning. You don't have to steal. That's a fact. An average Nigerian politician is literally made for life. Do you understand? Yeah. Because you are not on the civil side, you are not on the minimum wage scale. Do you understand? Now, when you are earning, so I'm not going to say that if I get political, somebody have asked me before that if I get political appointment and then would I be able to criticize my principal? I said there's something they call rules of engagement and loyalty in the game. If I'm not comfortable, I don't have to criticize you. I walk away. It doesn't reduce who I am. Do you understand? So what I'm telling people is that political office is a privilege to contribute your quota. If I'm elected, it's a different ballgame. I make policies. But if I'm appointed, I'm working with someone and I have to follow the person's direction. There are two different things. That's why a governor has control. A minister does not, because a minister
he
reports to the president. Do you understand? You get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So there are two different things. But what I'm basically trying to say is that when people come out to say, the embattled DG said he spent 400 million to buy a contract because he has passion to serve the country. When the issue now started, he said the people he borrowed money from, they've gone to report him to the FCC. Which kind of passion is that? There are people that sell their properties to contest for political office.
Because people they know that they are going to recoup.
People go to the banks to collect loans to run for political office. Have you not seen people collapse after losing the election in this country?
Yes, yeah.
Because they know that, hey, where will I pay back all these loans? Some of them have sold their cars, sold their family land, sold their property, because they know that once they get into that place,
they will eat. Certainly.
They will eat on my jet. Then they will now start aspiring for what they want to become.
So Okwe is talking, very responsibly at this moment. I am here cheering Okwe on. If that appointment will come from this window or through this window, I will be in support of what he wants to go and do. But I will tell Okwe in no mistakable term, the minute you start to put your hand where they are putting their hand, I'm not going to cheer you on. I'm going to be the same person to criticize you. Because Okwe is telling us that, listen, you can survive within the structure of what it is that is a salary. You don't have to steal. And that if it is too much for him, he will just walk away. I hope that Okwe will continue to uphold those standards, because I see an appointment coming really soon for him, and because he's interested. Okwe is a passionate man. Anything he does
no, but
passionately.
My passion does not get to the
which
point
is
of
good.
buying appointments.
No. I'm even talking very seriously now, which is a very good thing. It's good for people to have genuine passion to serve Nigeria. We need more people like that. I have a passion, to see Nigeria become great, but not to serve Nigeria because there's too much mess in it. I wish we didn't have this mess. I'll be the first person putting up my hand, raising my hand, shouting, screaming to say, give me a position to handle to move Nigeria to the next level. But no, I'm not going to do that. All right. Okay, let's go on with this day.
Yes, we're done with this day. It's just one story.
Just one big story.
Just one big story, yes.
Okay. I think we should look at the Vanguard newspaper. Okay. 10 trillion naira investment in 13 years failed to lift power supply. So this is what we're talking about. All the projects are abandoned. We were talking about what was it? The health. Primary health care centers. We talked about other abandoned projects, and now again we're talking about a power supply. We're not getting the adequate power supply that we need. We're resetting the sector, and this is coming from the power minister. Federal government GenCos disagree over 6.2 trillion debt. More bonds insurance underway. Subsidy claim padded. Consumers allege. I don't know when it's just, as far as I'm concerned, since we opened the program, we've been saying the same thing. Been talking about the same thing. Disloyalty, we've been talking about. We've been talking about lack of accountability. We've been talking about corruption. All of this is still embedded in this story. So it's the same thing, but they come in different packages. It's all the same thing, you know. 10 trillion investment in 13 years fail to lift power supply. When are we going to have steady power supply? When are we going to have steady power supply with all the people who just want to see that, they enrich themselves, they take from the commonwealth, they don't care about whether Nigerians have power, and power is so important. Power is life.
Power is not important. Oh. Power is
a necessity.
Is the crux of everything.
Exactly. That man in the theater who is having an open heart surgery.
Have you not seen where they are using touchlight phone in this country to
needs
operate
the light.
Touchlight phone to take delivery. That's one of the problems we are talking about primary health care center. Touchlight phone to take delivery. I think we can take the call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, after all these years, Nigeria has been saving money for power supply.
Calm down, ma. Calm down. Welcome to the program. Let me welcome you to the program. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Darasimi.
All right,
From Abuja.
From Abuja. This woman is so livid.
She's getting straight into the conversation.
Straight into the conversation.
Please,
okay.
Welcome to the show,
The floor is yours, ma.
After all these years, they have been investing 10 trillion naira. One of the studies now, he said that power failed to lift power supply. Can't you say that what they are telling us is rubbish? After all these years, power supply is a necessity. Everybody needs power supply. Without power supply, nothing can be done in Nigeria. And all of a sudden, they are telling us this is rubbish. Nigeria government needs to try to take out this type of situation.
Sharpshooter. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you for your call. Noted. Okay, so exactly what we're talking about. After all these years, 13 years, 10 trillion.
If I was not on this table,
yeah,
and I want to call in on the show like this.
So wait, let's demonstrate it. Oh yeah, green.
Okay.
Green. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Opeyemi Akinyode.
Okay.
So let's be sincere with ourselves. Maybe apart from the Ministry of Defense or security-related concerns, there's no other ministry in this country that has got our Commonwealth as much as the Power Ministry.
Yeah.
Since President Bola, former President Olusegun Obasanjo came in and then privatized the power sector, it's been from one problem to the other. Politicization of the distribution of license, politicization of the demands expected from these gencos and discos. It's a major concern. And when you have a fragile economy like Nigeria's economy, that you need the small-scale businesses to stimulate growth in those economies. And you cannot grant, and I've said it, that maybe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made a mistake. His legacy project should have been fixing power in this country.
Good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is calling
from Abuja. Two Abujas back to back. All right, go ahead and make your contribution, sir.
Yeah, my sister, you people are doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
You are a great man.
Thank you. So I'm not a great woman.
You are a great woman. You want to become a politician.
Yes, so.
We trust you. You should not change. You become a politician. Madam, is very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. You see, while we are talking for our leaders to change. We are talking so that our leaders, you know that this country, many countries around us are looking out of Nigeria. Look at the young country close to us. They are more developed now, more than Nigeria now. Look at small country very close to us. I don't want to mention some names.
Yeah.
But there is one question I want to ask. Every day I continue to think about it. Why is it that we are giving another country light and those countries celebrate 28 years
of uninterrupted power supply. Yeah.
in that country, and whereas we that are giving them,
We don't have
light.
lights.
What is happening in Nigeria? What is happening? See, like what I told you people last time, I said whatever is happening in Nigeria is from our leaders. Even the youth that are coming out, the way they are behaving now,
They feel like they'll be worse than the leaders that we
because
have.
when your leaders are doing the right thing, the young youth that are coming up can never do wrong thing. But when you see your father doing wrong thing, you will follow them. That's why I said we are learning from them. Whatever is happening in Nigeria is our leaders that are causing it. Because, for example, if you go to traffic now, traffic light, you see our leaders. When our leaders respect traffic light, there is nobody that will not respect traffic light. You see leaders picking traffic light. How will you do not pick traffic light? That's what I'm saying. When the leaders are looting, stealing our money, why will the young youth not follow the same footsteps? That's why I said, what are they teaching the young youth that are coming out? Look at somebody, 10 trillion have been embezzled, and nothing was shown up. You know that light, when there is light, you can't tell me that there will be no employment in Nigeria.
Of course.
Because people work with lights. When there is light, we can't talk of employment. Because when all these people that are doing mini work with handwork, they are using light. That is why we need light in this country. And our leaders are playing with it. I said, National Assembly, they are the problem of Nigeria. Because they are ready to fire and do whatever they want. When the president are not doing the right thing, you know the ministers are not doing the right thing, the people who are appointed are not doing the right thing. What is the work of National Assembly? Is it not to fire? Tell me, since 1999, which president did not fire for office? Said you are not doing the right thing. We need to impeach you. Who have done it? When have they have not, because all of them have been compromised.
Your point has been taken, sir. It's a tough one here in Nigeria. I really wish I could give you an instant answer to some of the questions that you asked. You know, how come, country is celebrating 28 years of uninterrupted power supply, and Nigeria is still having epileptic power supply. Even the so-called high class, the band A, they're not even getting enough power supply. Promises unfulfilled, by the books. So I can't really answer that question. But the same question you ask, we will ask them every day to account to us and tell us exactly why we are not having, uninterrupted power supply. Why can we not celebrate X number of years of uninterrupted power supply? I live in Nigeria, as you know, but where I live, we don't even talk about power supply like that. Because when you see it,
it's not what you see there. They are supplying
exactly,
for
you quickly grab it. Once they bring it like this, start pumping water, start doing everything, you'll be running up and down like you're a 2-year-old child. That's the country that we live. We have to be thankful for what we are supposed to be provided. It's part of the package. As a Nigerian, because we are supposed to be generating this thing, it's supposed to be part of the package.
one of the
it.
things I find very appalling the most is the fact that we have a government that has every opportunity to fix some of these things. And when I say government, I'm not talking about the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because our power problem did not even start now. And I have a feeling that it's not going to end anytime soon. But let's quickly pick this call.
All right, the calls are just coming and coming. All right, yeah. Good morning. Yeah, what's your name, sir? Mr. Oladiji. You're calling from where? Did you hear Okwe? Okay. No. We didn't. You need to turn down the volume of your television set a bit. Okay. Oh,
I'm sure he's going to call
He's going to call back, yeah.
So we have a government that you feel the best you can give to Nigerians, and I'm saying it. Imagine if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu decides to, first off, open the books and ask where over 10 trillion had gone to in the last how many years of our democracy, from 1999 till now. Open the books first. Ask questions. And even if maybe there are those you don't want to step on, there are political beneficiaries that are loyal or they are aligned to you. Okay, commit yourself to fixing power in this. And I'll tell you for a fact, the Calabar coastal line will never have the same economic impact that having steady electricity in this country will have. I may not benefit from the Calabar coastal line for the next 100 years. And that's a fact. But if there's stable power supply in this country, the small businesses
small and medium scale
that are supposed to stimulate the growth of these economies,
Yeah.
the barbers, the welders, the fashion
hairdressers.
designers, the hairdressers, these are the people that can employ more people. The employers of 5 and 6, the shoemakers, the bag makers, do you understand? The nail technicians. These people are using the entire little change they have to power their business. Petrol is 1,225 naira per liter. How many people can afford it? How many people can afford solar? And you know, let me bust you. It goes back to what I said initially, that the people that are supposed to solve the problem of this country are benefiting from the problem.
That's why the problem
Do you
can't
know how
be
many
solved.
Nigerian politicians today have invested billions in establishing solar factories,
yes, now.
solar companies?
Of course.
Do you know how many of them that have invested billions in importing solar panels into this country? Do you know how many of them have invested billions in importing generators into this country?
You know
so
why
the problem, if they fix electricity, their own business will close.
They're doing this importation in anticipation that it should not work. It will not work.
It is not
so
that it
it
should.
will not work. You know,
in their own wisdom, it must not work.
It must not. That's the word. It must not.
It must not work.
Because if it works, then they will be out of business. They would have lost so much money. Nobody's going to be patronizing them. So it just must not
If
work.
we are supplying light, if you are supplying light to Chad, to Ghana,
to
and they are
Republic of
celebrating
Benin,
years of uninterrupted power supply, and we that we are here, a country of over 200 million people, we are celebrating 4,000 megawatts.
So, Chokwe, let me bust your brain.
4,000 megawatts.
Their celebration, you know what the celebration means? Their celebration means that some of the monies that we have generated in this country, you know, internally generated revenue, we have used to pay for power supply, uninterrupted power supply. This is where your monies have gone to. But you have benefited so much and you are rejoicing. It is obvious that it is money made, money spent wisely.
You know, we are selling this power to these countries.
I know.
And we are calling, even though some of them are still owing us 10 years, 8 years of supply. But at least we know that there will be balance brought forward. We have bashi with them, like Hausa people will call Gbese, we want to call Gbese Yoruba. We have money to collect from them. But the question is this: how do you wake up one day and you gave license to people, and the people are not living up to their commitments upon which you collected, and you cannot withdraw those licenses from them?
Hello, good morning. Oh my, I think he tried to call back.
And you cannot withdraw those licenses from them. Did you go into blood covenant with these discos and gencos? What were the terms of the sales of the issuance of license for them? Do you know another problem? There are power cables in this country that have been installed since the 1970s. So the problem is not even coming from the gencos. The gencos can shoot as high as 10,000, 12,000 megawatts. But the distribution companies don't have what to absorb the electricity. That's why you wake up one day, they'll tell you the country of 230 million people, we have zero on our grid. Because once the national grid collapses, what it means is that the generating companies they pumped in what the discos the capacity can carry. So the national grid, not GRID now, GRWED, will collapse. So you will now go, they will now tell you that we have only 203 megawatts servicing a country of over 200 million
and the
people.
point of all of this
10
conversation is that we need a total overhaul. We need to break down and start to rebuild. We need to rebuild, you know, these refineries. We need to do a lot of things, you know, in the country, in the power sector, in the oil sector, and you know, Nigerians need to be able to benefit. I was telling somebody the other day that I think the person was going to travel to Dubai, and I told the person, I said, I wish you luck. Not to relocate, but on vacation. I said, it's a beautiful country, but this period could be really, really hot. However, for everywhere you will stay, chillers will be provided.
Of course.
You know, you
Of
will, as
course.
long as you're indoors, you will have no reason to complain. And I said to the person, I said, you know what? The evenings is the time you will enjoy it the most. It will be hot, oh, still extremely hot in the evenings. But the one thing that you will enjoy is watching the way, the lifestyle of the people of Dubai. Because especially the women, that's when they come out. They come out, you know, in their flocks. They come out together, you know. They come out, look, their skin is like glass. Why? Because the commonwealth is shared for
Is their
for
wealth.
everybody.
It's
It's
to
the
the
common
commoners.
man. The commonwealth is shared to the common man. So, I mean, they're all, you know, enjoying this thing, and that is the way it's supposed to be. But no, some people, just a group of people, and if you count the number of people that are enjoying our commonwealth, they're just a handful.
What's the percentage
They're
of the,
just
of,
a
of, of the
handful.
political class that we have in this country? They are not even up to 200,000. Put all of them together. Senators National Assembly,
Let's add the civil servants.
No,
You know?
no.
Let's add the civil
Well,
servants. But even at that, okay,
even the civil service.
even with the civil service,
do we have up to 2 million civil servants in this
mean,
country?
that,
do we?
that's just the group of people that are eating all of these things, putting these things, you know, taking these things to themselves. And that's why we are not able to thrive. How do you explain a minister for power? No accountability. He didn't tell us anything. He didn't tell us what he found.
He walked away
didn't
to
tell us what
contest.
he left.
Nobody
He didn't
asked
tell us what
questions.
he did.
No
He
probe.
just came.
Nothing.
He saw. Did he conquer? He didn't conquer. He just walked away. Nothing. He didn't say anything. So, sir, when you ask me these questions, who do I ask? I can only put the questions out here, but I cannot reassure anybody of an answer. Because even we need these answers. We need these answers like anything. And we keep saying it here. We need accountability, but nobody's listening. Who's listening, really? Even if they're listening, even if they're watching, but are they going to tell us really how they spend this money? No. And he walks away, wanting to take over a position of authority in a state. How do you reconcile both? How do you reconcile both? That's Nigeria anyway. That's the one thing that we just have to move on with. But guess what? One day something will force a change. And when that change comes, it's going to shake a lot of things and a lot of people, because Nigerians are never willing to accept a change. But a change is the one thing that is very refreshing. So the sooner we start to condition our minds that one day, you know, I'm not bringing God into this thing, because God is sitting down where he's sitting down. We don't have to bring him into this. But one day, somebody who has a conscience and knows that the right thing needs to be done is going to be ready to lay down his life to ensure that Nigeria has a complete overhauling. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, Osun poll, plot to arrest 46 Accord leaders uncovered. And this is coming from Adeleke Campaign Council. 6 soldiers killed, father, son, burnt alive as terrorists attack Zamfara. Was it Zamfara we just looked at now, where they rescued some people. They're rescuing some people, they're still terrorizing some people, killing some people, kidnapping some people. It's a continuous process in Zamfara, Plateau, Borno, you know, and on and on and on, you know. But I know that one day we'll come to an end of it. So it's Zamfara and Sokoto communities.
There's
I
a
think
picture.
okay, there's a picture.
There are 2 pictures in front of Vanguard. There are 2 pictures.
Kogi State Governor
Okay.
Usman Ododo at the passing out parade of the first batch of 530 armed forest guards in Lokoja, Kogi State over the weekend.
That's not the picture of concern.
The other
The
picture,
second picture is the picture
President
of concern.
Bola Tinubu right with former President Goodluck Jonathan during the former president's visit to the presidential villa Abuja yesterday. Okay, so Jonathan and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The plot of that visit is the question. Jonathan is supposed to be the presidential candidate of PDP.
Haven't you moved past that?
No, we have not. Because the faction that are pushing his agenda are still asking INEC not to release registration code or accept uploading of details from the faction of Wike.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you with this call. Hello? Hello? Okay, I thought I heard how you doing.
Do you understand? It's okay for former president to visit the president. Their elder
There's
statesmen
absolutely no
is allowed.
nothing wrong in that.
I mean, you come and contribute your own quota to nation development. Do you understand? But the same man, about 3 months ago, accepted or addressed people that went to meet him to contest. Did you not see?
Wasn't it alleged? Did we see him address them?
He did. The people that went to
Were we
visit him,
not-
the youth that carried placard,
the youth,
he
yeah,
did.
yeah.
He addressed them. That I've listened to you people. I will consult.
But he
After
did
my
not say-
consultation, I will come back to meet you.
Exactly, but he never committed.
Weeks after, the faction said they gave him a free pass for the people that watch football. You know what a free pass is?
They bought him a form.
In the politics, they call it waiver, but for footballers, they call it free pass or true pass. When they give you pass that's leading straight to goal, do you understand? The faction of the PDP said that giving him waiver, they did not screen him. They gave him waiver.
They bought him a registration form.
Even on
When you are
declaration,
giving the
he was
information, give it
declared in
correctly.
absentia. So it's just like you're
Exactly.
shaving somebody's head
Behind the person.
Until today, Goodluck Jonathan had not
He has
come out
not
to say he's
spoken. He has not
accepting
said
that offer.
anything.
But they are still saying he's their candidate. They are still telling INEC not to recognize the other candidates. The same man is visiting the president.
Are you sure it's not? You see, so perhaps certain things will fall in place. Perhaps we are starting to see the beginning. They say it is the hand of what?
Hand of Esau and voice of Jacob.
So that's it. That's it. The thing has settled itself.
You know, the moment I
So
saw
we are going to see more.
the moment I saw the story, I said, I don't understand though. And this one, Goodluck Jonathan is having closed door meeting with Tinubu. And one of the reasons why the PDP said they're pushing him that they
quite
want
well.
the Southerner to finish the tenure.
Knowing quite well that there is this brouhaha within PDP on his behalf. Somebody is doing something from somewhere. Someone is pushing something from somewhere.
If they explain Nigerian politics to you and you understand, is it not they did not explain it well, or your own brain is not complete?
Or maybe we should
So
say,
you just
maybe we
continue
should say
to
it like
unravel.
this. Maybe we should say it like this. If they explain Nigerian politics to you, it confuses you the more.
Yes. So it's a case of the more you see,
the
the
less
less you understand. So don't bother to see.
Don't even bother to
Just
try.
stay.
Don't try to, because you just keep on. Let's look at the Guardian newspaper.
All right. The Guardian newspaper.
But don't you think we should go on a break?
Well, it's okay. If they are
Let's
calling
go
for
on a
that,
break because it's
let's go
you
on
know
a break.
it's
Let's go on a break.
Yes.
But please keep the calls coming in.
Yeah.
We're always here to engage you. But let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, welcome back. We needed that break, to get some water to drink.
Did you actually take water?
What?
Did you actually take water?
We did.
We almost spent the 90 seconds or so to see
deliberating as to what is going on under which we
See,
okay.
I've said it that one day we'll do open session. So what we discuss off the mic, it must not go out.
It must not go. Honestly.
Let's look at the Guardian newspaper. A 10 insurance risk liquidation as 43 scale recapitalization hurdle. That is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Well, Reaction are continuing to trail the interview of Bishop Onayekon, and where he says that responded to the visit and the statement of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying all is fair in politics. So Atiku, Christian leaders Harua tackle presidency. That is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Atiku is still on another story. Atiku presidency bicker over economic performance and Nigerians' reality. That is on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria in $15 billion flood losses as experts see wider insurance coverage. Nigeria in $15 billion flood losses as experts see wider insurance coverage.
We have a call on the line. Let's see if we can take this call. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Welcome to the show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Samuel.
You said Samuel?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
From where?
From Nigeria.
From Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead and make your contribution, this great Nigeria. Okay, I just guess. Well, okay, let's go on.
Okay, Mr. Nigeria, it's not to talk to us Nigerians. Oye warns FX market vulnerability, high SMEs mortality. I mean, that is still linked to the power failure in this country. Because small and medium scale enterprises are folding up almost on a daily basis in this country. And there's a little to which the large scale companies can employ. How many Dangotes do we have in this country? How many of the banking banking sector operators do we have? Most of them are even placing their workers on contract.
The large scale industries, are they not, is the power sector not one of them? If it was really functional, then they would be needing more hands.
You'll be able to put more people on board.
So
when you have a country, an economy that is this fragile, twice in the last 10 years we survived recession. We've had to deal with COVID. We've had to deal with constant security concerns every single day. We are currently facing food crisis in this country. In case people don't want to live up to that reality, the Ministry of Agriculture in this country is one of the most. I'm trying to be very civil with the kind of language I will use on that ministry, because a country this blessed is struggling with. We are dealing with food insecurity in this country. Nigerians are hungry. Nigerians are suffering. How many families can a tuber of yam of 5,000 naira feed?
Ministry of Agriculture, are they not the ones that are supposed to be subsidizing for the farmers,
helping the farmers, buy from the farmers,
giving them tools to be able to work at it? Guess what they're doing? They're giving to people that they know. That's what they're doing, giving to people that they know. I know people who have been begging, who have been applying, writing letters, writing proposals of all sorts, to be able to get these things. Nobody is looking their way. It is a man, no man issue.
So, do you know that the federal government does a fertilizer subsidy program, right?
Yeah.
Where the federal government distributes millions of bags of fertilizers across states. The state to distribute it across local government.
I know.
The racketeering going on with that fertilizer scheme in this country.
Exactly.
The racketeering going on with fertilizer scheme in this country.
I have a farm. I have a farm. We should not be begging for things like this. I sit down and I say, I'm not really going to go to be cap in hand begging anybody. I'm not going to do that. But I know that, there are people, farm owners, who are, intentional about making Nigeria, contributing their quota, to the agricultural sector in Nigeria, but who are not being encouraged, unfortunately. Except somebody. Why do we need to know somebody to be able to get what is supposed to be a commonwealth? Even this fertilizer is part of the commonwealth.
Do you know that people will collect these fertilizers? Department under the Ministry of Agriculture will collect these fertilizers, and they will go and resell these fertilizers to the same people that are supposed to be given
free.
Some people, will even receive the fertilizers. These instead of them to go and apply it in their farms, they will also go and sell it in open market.
Yes. Is that not what they were doing
Do you understand?
with the mosquito nets
Do you understand?
and all?
So when
and it is boldly written there,
not to
be
be
sold.
People will still collect this water and go and sell it in the open market. You get? So it's a struggle. That's why I said at the start of this conversation that until we sit ourselves down and be intentional about fixing this country, because the trajectory upon which this country is going at the moment is not looking positive. Except we want to continue to deceive ourselves. It's not looking positive. Because look into the pages of the newspapers today. 13 trillion, 10 trillion, billion spent, nothing to show in primary healthcare center. Trillions spent, nothing to show in the power sector. If you cannot fix health, you cannot fix power. The public infrastructures are in a terrible situation. So tell me which sector of the Nigerian economy that is working. Security was struggling. Employment is a mess. Food security, Ministry of Agriculture is literally non-existing. So tell me which sector of this economy in this country is
thriving.
Tell me. And then somebody will think that whatever we say is that we are criticizing the government. I'm being paid to speak the truth.
One of the sectors.
Not to massage your ego.
One of the ministries that is thriving is the ministry that is helping, indirectly to lose our manpower. That's the Ministry of Interior. That's one of the ministries that I can say is working. But now it's working because Nigerians desperately want to leave Nigeria, looking for greener pastures.
It's starring.
Unfortunately.
Osun 2026. CSOs urges credible elections as parties seek last-minute support. That is on page 5, ahead of the August 15, 2026 gubernatorial election in Osun State. So, let's see if we can still touch a couple of more.
I'm going to be looking at the Daily Trust newspaper. Bandits kill 8 family members and 4 others in Sokoto. Abuja infrastructure boom pushes up rent. The same way as Lagos Dirty December boom has pushed up Lagos rent. It's something else. But I think that these are one of the ways that government can intervene. I don't know how, but I think that they should be able to intervene so that Nigerians will not be experiencing untold hardship when it comes to rent. Daily Trust economists to federal government convert gains to structural transformation. Makes a lot of sense, but we hope it will not fall on deaf ears.
Exactly. That's very important.
Okay. The banner headline for the Daily Trust, 2027 fresh debate over Tinubu's qualification. And I'd like to read in quote, if you want to upload somebody's qualifications, you start from primary school, then secondary school, and then university. You don't jump from primary school to university. That gives room for suspicion, especially for a president that has been dodged by...
Dodged.
Is it? Okay, sorry, dodged. Yeah, dodged by academic controversies.
Over the weekend...
Okay, I was going to talk about it and then bring you on. But since you've started, you can go ahead.
The INEC uploaded the qualifications of the leading presidential and the vice presidential candidates. So they uploaded that of Peter Obi, uploaded the other candidates as well. And then we saw Peter Obi, the primary school he went to, the secondary school he went to, Nsukka, the university he went to, the year of graduation. All the other aspirants, all the other candidates have their details fully uploaded. But when we got to the sitting president, which I don't think this one is even a case of law or whatever it is, they skipped primary school. They skipped secondary school. Then the institution, they wrote BSc. The names of the schools were not provided. Primary school column empty. Secondary school column empty. Higher institution, they just wrote class of degree. They did not even mention the school where the degree was gotten from. As I am like this, I can tell you the primary school I went to. I can tell you the secondary school I went to too. I can tell you the university I went to. I can tell you where I did diploma before I went to university. I can tell you where I did my masters. I can tell you people that we went to secondary school with. I still have those friends. I have friends that we went to university with. I have friends that we did NYSC with.
I'm sure you're in
I have
some alumni associations.
I have plenty. I'm even an ESCO there.
So,
I have people that we did masters together with.
Okay, please let me take this quote again because there's a mistake.
Okay.
If you want to upload I was correct the first time.
Okay,
If you
okay.
want to upload somebody's qualifications, you start from primary school, then secondary school, and then university. You don't jump from primary school to university. That gives room for suspicion, especially for a president that has been dogged
by
by academic
yes.
controversies, meaning that he's been stubborn, unnecessarily stubborn, when it comes to academic questions and all of that. There's been controversies concerning his academic
Yes.
qualifications.
You know, the most painful part of this is this. When the 2026 Electoral Act was amended, Nigerians were carried away with mode of transmission. Oh, electric means of transmission. Oh, use the beavers. Oh, use the electric transmission. And we want to see real time. We want to see this one. But there were clauses in the Electoral Act that Nigerians did not pay attention to. And it was making me think that they intentionally used that mode of transmission to distract Nigerians. So Nigerians did not even look at the 2026 Electoral Act as amended and signed. And in the history of this recent democracy, from 1999 till now, I have not seen any bill or act that was enacted and signed into law as fast as the 2026 Electoral Act was. Within 24 hours, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have
signed it. Very
so
fast.
it was later we now started seeing that, listen, there are clauses in this Electoral Act that we did not look into.
That's a problem.
And it's a slap on our democracy.
Yeah.
Because the opposition members in the National Assembly somehow, whether they connive with the ruling party to make sure that they did not debate that part of the Electoral Act. Now, you cannot approach the court to seek the disqualification of a candidate or the annulment of the result of that election on the basis of falsified certificates. Let me break it down. So if I come out to say that I finished from University of Lagos, do you understand? I had a first class, University of Lagos. And then I submitted my credentials. For context, INEC don't verify certificates. It is not their duty. It is not their constitutional responsibility. Political parties verify credentials of candidates or aspirants, whatever the case may be. All INEC does is receive names forwarded to it by the party. If you say that your candidate is somebody living with disability or is male or female, INEC would only receive the list you sent, and that's where they upload.
And that's where they start from.
INEC will not go and check the credentials of a candidate. No, it is not their job. It is the job of political parties. So when you have 20 aspirants that are adjusting for a political post, as the chairman of the party, as the secretary of the party, it is your duty to receive their credentials. Okay, you finish from University of Lagos, what year? 2022. Pam, 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 pam. You send a mail to the student affairs or to the senate of the University of Lagos that we have an aspirant from our party that wants to contest for political office, and the person is claiming to be an alumni of your institution. Please verify. In fact, if you need it urgently, you put as a matter of urgency. Verify. Do you understand? And then you expect that the school will respond to you. So it is not the duty of INEC at all. But in that Electoral Act 2026 now, if I lied that I finished from University of Lagos, and I did not go to university at all, and then my opponent from another political party, right, now later found out that the certificate that I presented is fake, that matter cannot be presented as a reason to cancel my election.
Yeah.
It has been signed. So it will take another review process to remove or to expunge that part from the Electoral Act. So what you are basically telling us is that I can sit down in my house and lie that I went to a university, and then I'll fabricate the certificate of that university and I will submit it. And once I win an election, even though the university eventually come out to say that we have never seen you before, we don't have a record of your studentship with us, that is not on the basis upon which you can invalidate my result. What does that tell you about the credibility of that election, too?
Look, Okpe, before you go into too many details,
we've seen University of Toronto in this country.
There are too many things in this country which we know, are so improper, and that, people like that should not even make their way to leadership positions. But absolutely nothing can be. I didn't say absolutely nothing is done. I'm saying absolutely nothing can be done about it, especially under an administration where all sorts of things, can fly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nigerians have kind of been boxed, have been pushed to the wall and still cannot speak. They don't even know that when their backs are up against the wall, there's only one way to go, and that's forward, to bounce back at the person who's pushing them to the wall. Because, first of all, a lot of things are already in the favor of the ruling party and the presidential candidates of the ruling party. So where does that put everyone else? We can sit down and say and criticize the other parties of not being ready. And again, part of all of these things that are happening, the blame should go on the opposition parties. Because in themselves, they were not able to identify these things quickly enough to stop. They have the minority in the House. It's not as if they don't have members in the House at all. Even if it was one person who spoke up and said, no,
it should be on record.
This cannot
that
go.
You spoke
because
against it.
Exactly, this one, I see something and I'm not going to allow it to go. And by the time he amplifies it, other people will take it up. It will become a very sensitive issue and not one that would have been swept under the carpet as it is. You understand what I'm saying? So it's the whole thing sometimes, like I said, if you try to understand Nigerian politics, it becomes even more confusing for you because you don't know where to start and where to end, how the in-betweens happened. You can't explain them. Unfortunately so, but that's the way it is, and that's the truth of the matter. There are too many things, okay? We can start to give so many examples right now, but absolutely nothing was done about it.
So it's basically just telling you how faulty the foundation
already
of the election
in
is.
many ways. Okay, that's what I'm saying. In many ways, the foundation is been faulty.
Remember,
it's not only by his academic qualifications.
Remember in 2014, Tom, when
so many
the
ways.
candidate of the late
Somebody
president,
sat on this table, okay, sorry to cut you, to say that they have not started campaign. Campaign has started 2 years ago.
Campaign
The
don't
APC
stop.
have been campaigning
Campaign
since
don't
2 years. These are some of the things that we started to question. That if you're a leader and you're not abiding by the rules that have already been stated, the rules that have already been laid down, you're not abiding by those rules. You're setting a precedence. And if anybody else wants to follow that precedence, then you start to come down and clamp down on them. So there's so many things that are wrong. This academic qualification thing did not just start today. It didn't just start today. People, investigations had gone on. People had gone to America to go and try and investigate. I mean, it's been a whole drama. And it's been dragging on for so long. But now, the president has capped it.
of course,
He's
there's nothing
nipped
you
it
want
in the
to do about
bud.
it.
Nothing can be done about it.
It is-
If you want, go to America 100 times.
So
It doesn't matter. It's not gonna affect
you are
him.
basically saying you don't even need educational qualifications
Education
to
to
be
become
president.
exactly.
If you present fake and it cannot be used against you, then you can as well not present anything at all.
At all.
In 2014, when we were preparing for 2015 election, they told us that anybody but Jonathan, that even if it's NEPA bill that Buhari has, they should present it. Do you understand? That's why we had a president for 8 years that took us through one of the darkest times in our democracy. And then we are still we are living, we are enjoying the pain, and the man is no more. Death has a way of leveling everything. It should just go from 100 to 0. Now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is here. The entire campaign of 2023 was dominated by the originality of his studentship. Whether he went to Chicago, whether he schooled in this,
That's
whether
what
he
I'm
schooled
saying.
in
It
that,
was so
whether he had
much.
schoolmates, whether he had this one or he does not have that one. Now, the Electoral Act has validated it so much that you don't even need to present certificate other than even lying about it.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. What's your name, sir?
Deola.
Where are you calling from, sir?
Because
Olushosu.
Very close.
Oh,
to
very
us.
close by. Okay, can you go ahead, sir?
you see, I really enjoy your program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm begging you. I'm a clear person as well. Can you go be positive a little bit? How do I mean? The problem you are tackling in camp village is so much bigger than what we can experience. Some of us like to watch a program. They all these back to back, they can't change. It's only prayer. You are doing your best. The peace. Me personally, I'd like to hear something good news from your end here. At least if one of it is a little bit positive. You are doing a great job. I really appreciate it. You are doing a great job. The peace. If these people they can't change, it's a little bit. Let's see something positive that can make us happy. What is this program? You people are well experienced and see enjoy your program. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's the truth. This thing is you cannot
draining.
exhaust it. It's
It's
draining.
draining.
Do you know, even for us, you know that we say
course.
it drains us so badly because we can't exhaust it. But what we need to let the viewer and the listener know is that we're reading the papers. It's a
newspaper.
newspaper
We have to
review.
act on the
We
headlines
don't
that
don't
we
have
have.
to. We don't have a choice. It's a head. I wish we could say, you know what, we're going to write our own headlines and discuss it. Look through our headlines and take this story, choose this story. But if we say we are reading the headlines from the Daily Trust, for example, we can't say we won't touch on this story. We'll touch on it. We can't be selective. Do you understand? So that's where the problem is, because sometimes, sir, I must tell you, it is so draining. And that's why when Okwe was going into details, I said, Okwe, you know what? This thing it's been on like forever. We don't even, all these details we already know. Just spare us. We already know these details, because sometimes it could be so frustrating that we're making cases that we will never make a headway. You understand? So, I mean, sometimes we get frustrated as well. But it is a job that we've signed on to do, unfortunately. So when Dokwe does the analysis, he's just doing it, so that some people who don't know will know, which is our job to do anyway. Okay, Okwe, I think I should just continue the Daily
we're almost
Trust.
pressed for time.
Oh, you really? I never. Okay, we're about rounding up. So, flood displaces families and destroys houses in Yobe. Well, that's a national problem. Hoping that the necessary authorities would take charge. Nigeria finished 7th and missed Glasgow 2026 in medal target. Recapitalization. NICOM clears 43 insurance firms. And finally, from the Daily Trust, woman murdered over alleged witchcraft in Bauchi State. Are we still this backward? No, on a more serious note, I'm just asking a question because I don't know.
I kind of anticipated you were going to ask that question.
Are we still this
So I'm not
backward?
surprised.
Killing a woman because
Allegation
it was
of witchcraft.
alleged that she has witchcraft. Honestly, I think that anybody who had a hand in this woman's death should be also sentenced to death. But
Did they find them?
that's the thing.
They don't find them.
That's the thing.
They don't find them. They just do whatever they want. There's so much recklessness that is going on in this country under the guise of culture, under the
Culture
guise
and
of
religion.
religious correctness. You want to defend a God that had left you, and you are just living your own. You yourself, you are worse than the people that are criticizing.
Exactly.
Have you not seen preachers gotten bombed in this country? Was Deborah not killed in Sokoto in this country? Till today, till tomorrow, till
Absolutely
forever.
nothing.
Was anything done about it?
Nothing was done
So
about it.
the allegations that somebody is a witch, and then you think the best thing to do is to kill them. I mean, you have killed them now. So the witchcraft has ended. I mean,
Okay, it's time for us to round up. We'd just like to round up right now. Okay, it's time to say your goodbye.
well, it's always an amazing conversation. Bright and early, new month, new week, bigger expectations, and we're hoping that if you enjoyed the session with us today, we invite you again to join us same time tomorrow, bright and early, so that we can have reasons to exchange ideas and break down all of the headlines that we have for you. Once again, thank you. Happy new month, and happy birthday in advance to my producer told me to keep it cool, so that the cake and the food will be enough for us in-house first, so that you find out who is celebrating birthday tomorrow. My name is Opeyemi Akinode. Stay safe. I will join again tomorrow.
Thank you so much for watching the program. We're looking forward to having you on again tomorrow. Thank you to all our callers and our social media patrons. We want to urge you to keep, liking and subscribing to all our social media handles. My name is Ton Adirele. It's been a pleasure being on the show. Hope to see you again tomorrow. God bless you and have a good time. Bye.
Excuse me, ma. This your 100%